friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat. It's episode 100 of the Citywide Special.
Woo!
The Phillies win 2 of 3 in a hard-fought series against the Dodgers. A costly fielding blunder cost them their first game in Atlanta. How are we feeling about the Phils in the early going? Should we be worried about the bullpen? Is Taijuan Walker back? The Flyers and Sixers continue their march to the draft lottery. The Sixers are likely to finish 5th from the bottom, giving them a 63% chance to retain their conditional first-round pick. The Flyers currently sit 4th from the bottom. The NFL draft is 2 weeks away. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Congratulations. We made it. We didn't kill each other or quit.
Yeah,
we're here at 100.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Damn, time flies when you're having fun, yo.
Yeah.
To think.
Mm-hmm.
It's, we're on episode 100, and appropriately, we're about to enter the Chinese century, so,
Yeah, light them candles up.
Candles up real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me you got the fake candles.
Oh my god.
shit.
What was that?
That was my...
They start shooting off sparklers and shit.
Turn my email off.
Oh, yeah, you were checking the email to see if we received any emails. We have not. So, yeah, I mean, listeners, viewers, send us an email, whatever you got to say. Congratulate us on 100 episodes.
Favorite moment.
Yeah, it's favorite moments, favorite member of the pod, even though I know that's obviously me. Whatever you got to say, send us an email about it so that way we have some emails to read.
At citywidepod@gmail.com.
Whoa! Damn, that scared me.
I heard that.
Jesus.
I heard you jump.
Oh, yeah, I got the bubbly, got the cupcakes going.
Shout out Spruha for the cupcakes and
Yeah.
candles. Thank you.
Cupcakes from the Gingered Peach in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
Hey, if they're looking for a sponsorship, hey.
Yeah.
But
We got
anyway,
good stuff there.
yeah, so what's going on? What's new?
Nothing much, man. Freezing my
cracking.
ass off this
Yeah.
week. It's been brutal that way. It kind of sucks. We're kind of in that
Yeah,
fake
I
spring
had to whip
mode.
out my winter coat this morning. Did not think that I had to do that again, but here we are.
But yeah, can't complain.
Dang
Other than
weather.
that, I'll give you guys these.
Hell yeah.
And 1, 2, 3.
All right,
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
That's drinking, buddy.
Boom.
Trevor.
100. But yeah, eventful week. We got, tariff mania happening. That's always fun. Got the,
The highs and
watching
lows of the economy, which is all right. I mean, at least we're at an age where we still have some time to.
yeah, so I
back.
got some time for my Roth IRA to recover,
Yeah, I've
all
been,
that good stuff.
I've been scared to check my stuff.
Yeah.
We
I
were
would just
talking
wait.
about that earlier.
I would just wait.
Yeah.
I feel like you wake up tomorrow, there could be other shit popping off. Who even knows what's going down right now? But just gotta ride out the storm. That's all.
Yeah. But I guess now there's going back to now. There's going to be another like a 90-day pause. It's like he's turning the meter back and forth.
Yeah.
To,
First it was 30, then 60, 90. It's like It's like when you first start a new job. You get that 30, 60, 90-day trial period. You start off
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, the probationary period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
People are kissing his ass to get a meeting with him, quote
And
unquote.
it was funny. I did see, I think today there was, one of his, trade advisors, I guess, who was, I don't know, I guess involved in the planning of all this stuff was being grilled in another one of these congressional meeting show trials, And I guess while it was happening, they got word that they were pausing it for 90 days. So then they were asked the guy, so did you... No, this would as he's trying his best to defend this ridiculous thing, they go back on it during the fucking hearing, and he's just yeah, this was obviously all part of the plan. Yeah, they're just making up as they go along. It is fun. I mean, not I'm by no means some kind of fucking expert on global trade, but it's there are ways that you can use tariffs to be useful. It's like a tool, right?
Yeah.
But it's I feel like the way that they're looking at it, it's like as if you had a favorite tool in your shed. Say you love your power drill.
Mm-hmm.
It's I love the power drill. I can do all kinds of cool stuff with my power drill, and I love it so much that I'm just going to start drilling holes all over my house because I love it so much. And now there's until your fucking house falls down.
They got nothing going down for you. We'll just fill it up, no big deal. And they're like, people that live with you are trying to fill up the holes left and right, but like, what the fuck is going on right now? But, and then you hit a water line and they got to pause and take a break and give it some time.
The water line you hit is the stock market tanking. Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
S&P 500.
This seems like a theme that's going to be around for a little bit here, at least for the next 90 days. So we're going to have probably plenty more groundbreaking tariffs and callbacks on those and new tariffs on other people. Penguins, I don't know. They didn't respond yet from that island, so I'd be curious to see how they retaliate.
They must be relieved that they can continue, trading without any kind of interference and restrictions.
Trading their, their Alaskan like halibut. It's like halibut's actually worth some money.
Halibut's good.
Yeah, never mind. Not halibut, Alaskan flounder.
That's just about to go up, though.
Yeah.
They got
Alaska technically won't, but I don't know. The Yukon Territory. Right, that place up there in the middle of nowhere, Canada.
The Yukon Trail, the less popular cousin to the Oregon Trail
version of the Oregon
Trail.
Funny.
It was called the Yukon Trail.
What? Oh, that was real?
No, yeah. It was like exactly the exact same game, but it was just a different area. But yeah, it was the same.
I never played it.
There was a Yukon Trail, yeah.
That's funny. I just referenced the Oregon Trail the other day, too, though.
Dude, the Oregon
Trail. About that game. I'm not going to lie.
That game was badass.
Yeah, that was a great way to fuck off during, elementary school. Was be on the computer playing Oregon Trail. I mean, this is educational.
It taught you just
for sure.
You learned just as much about life and how to survive and how to make money and how to trade and how to have a family. There was a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I remember it definitely kind of, illuminated how the buffalo were eradicated because you would just do the hunting session and you just like keep killing buffalo and it's like you shot like 5,000 pounds worth of meat. You can only take 50 with you. And the rest is just the animals just to like rot in a field. I was like, I guess it is really fun shooting buffalo because it's so easy.
Yeah, and then like the squirrels when you're trying to shoot the damn squirrels and the rabbit, it's so hard, dude.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's like why wouldn't I go after the buffalo or the bear?
Yeah.
Right?
Let me get the big, slower target in the game, at least, not in real life. But yeah, ass.
How'd you guys do the river?
It would depend on how deep it was. I wouldn't always ford it, right?
Fording's risky, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a 4 or 5 foot river, yeah, I mean, fuck it.
I was into caulking the river.
I was always going.
Did you ever pay the natives? Or I guess I feel like in the game they probably just called them Indians.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, in the late 80s, they didn't have any decorum about what they called indigenous people.
That was the 100% success rate.
It would depend, right?
Like, I was always booking it, breaking wheels and shit, losing a kid.
Dude, if the river was real deep, then yeah, I'm going to pay someone to help me get across it. Otherwise, I mean, if it's shallow, I'm just fording it. If it's, what was the other option?
The caulk was like where you kind of take the wheels off.
If it was mid, like if it was 8 to 10 feet, all right, we'll caulk it. If that thing's 20 feet, not taking any chances, help me get across. But how would you always set your rations? I always set them Jones on meager, dude. We don't have time to be eating like all gluttonous and whatnot. You can't be doing that. There's limited rations, even though we're killing buffalo left and right. We can't bring it all back.
I mean, you think about the more food you eat, the more likely you are to get some kind of foodborne illness. Get that dysentery. Yeah. You're all toast.
I learned what dysentery was from the Oregon Trail. I never knew what that was in first grade.
Just diarrhea that kills you, basically.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Brutal. That's ass. It is ass, but damn.
It comes out your ass, that's for sure.
No real good TP back
or is that that's dysentery.
Yeah,
and then cholera is like
what's that one?
That's, I think that's similar.
Isn't that more feverish, though?
Yeah, I guess so. You probably also shit your brains out, though.
There was always some disease in the fucking caravan.
Yeah, I feel like most diseases back then, you were probably,
fucked.
You're probably in a rough way.
Yeah, you're just toast.
It's good to live in the time of modern medicine.
Oh, yeah. Well, for the time being.
Yeah.
But, anyway, made it here.
Until RFK makes, Advil illegal or whatever.
Well, it only took till the second kid dying of, measles. He was like, okay, maybe, the vaccine is actually really good to do. Yeah, he was like, actually, you should take the vaccine. It does help to prevent the measles. But they were like, all right, we got 500 kids in Texas sick. 2 are dead now. He's like, all right, we got to figure this shit out then. It's like, we already had it figured out. We already had it done. But here we are. Might as well be on the Oregon Trail again.
I know, bringing back all the old school diseases.
Yeah.
Gonna have yellow fever,
malaria.
Think about eggs are rising up. You know what I mean? It's hard to it's hard to barter. It's gonna be a barter system soon.
Yeah,
I
think people do still get bubonic plague sometimes, but it's treatable now, from what I understand. But it is funny. They're still just called plague.
What are the symptoms?
I remember you get those sores, those big sores.
Oh, you get the boils.
Real feverish. You get real sweaty, but you only really have like the time clock of when you get it to when you die is not that long usually.
So it's like rabies.
Yeah, well, that's
rabies be like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some drippage.
Oh shit! Moment out.
Oh.
Yeah, blow those out. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
all right.
You know, I mean, anything just called the plague is a fucked up disease. But
yeah, you don't want that.
Nah. Not many things last to be 100 anymore.
Yeah, I mean...
We're a centenarian podcast now.
Yeah. What do I know? Who do I know? I don't know anyone that's 100. Dean's grandma, we talked about this before. I think Vovo's like 98. She's the oldest person I know. She's about to be 100.
She might get a Christmas or a birthday card from Trump.
He is not sending her no birthday. Like, respectfully,
well, I'm sure they're not personally signed.
No, but like the White House, the Trump
stamp.
White House doesn't do that, dude. They don't care about old people.
Yeah, that was the first people that Doge laid off. It's like, all right, the birthday card
exactly.
committee,
yeah,
you're done.
You're toast. You're done. You're out of here.
Yeah,
all the little people that are like becoming
like,
like
all right,
Eagle
we saved the federal government $50 a year.
Yeah, between them,
birthday card
sending
department.
out that. People that get Eagle Scout, people that like graduate from like, you know, whatever military academy, like, we don't need to be sending these fucking cards anymore. We're shutting it all down.
It's like we clearly don't care about old people. We don't care about Social Security or Medicaid.
Mm-mm.
We don't need to send them a goddamn card.
No. Even though they're all, if they weren't in political office, they all would be using that shit. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting too political on this episode.
Well, we hit 100. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of sexy sports action going down, but anybody got any favorite moments of the pod? Avery and I were talking about it briefly before you came right back down.
Yeah, Trevor, what's yours? In the 2 years we've been recording the pod, your favorite, I don't know, your
pod
favorite memory, favorite thing?
So there were some good bits. I like the submersible discourse.
Yeah,
that was a fun one. That summer, it was just some crazy thing happening every week. So there was like the smoke.
Oh yeah,
there was
right.
The water crisis.
Yep.
The submersible. That was like all in the same summer.
We had Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. Exactly. When 95 collapsed.
95. Yeah.
Yeah, it was popping
that was
year.
a good run.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was that today. There was that snake. Did you see that?
Huh?
There was like a snake out on like 95 or something. Yeah. Should like look that up on your phone or something.
Weird shit going down on it.
Yeah, they found a snake in the city. I think it was 95.
Damn.
How big was it?
It was a big ass. I saw a picture. It was a pretty big ass snake. I
don't
know
know. It
where
was just hanging out on I-95?
I don't know, man.
What
snake
the fuck?
on I-95.
Yeah, just search snake Philadelphia.
95's always got some weird shit like that going down.
I probably bring up a picture of Jim Kenney.
Snake on 95 is some guy with his hog out. You're like, what the? But no, I mean, the submersible was a really good bit with all the guys in there blowing up.
It was on the Ben Franklin Parkway.
Oh, the Parkway. Okay, yeah. So it was like in the city.
Well, they kept distance. Yeah, this is from 6ABC. While they kept distance, a wedding party posed for pictures about 10 feet or so from the snake. Apparently, it was a python.
Damn. Holy shit. Big boy.
Did it like escape the zoo?
That shit said, "Don't tread on me." That's what he was doing.
That's right. It's just some guy that lived by. He was like a snake guy. It's like he just like went down to his.
That's
he just like went downstairs and was like, fuck.
Yeah, that's his classic. Billy that lives near the Parkway is like, where the hell's my python at?
Action News tracked down the owner of the snake, James Hatchell, who told us that he was present, keeping an eye on the snake while the tourist was filming. Hatchell said he and his cousin had 2 snakes out that March afternoon named Starlet and Sindel. The one seen is Starlet, a Burmese python. So he just owning snakes, walking around the Parkway with snakes. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude?
I mean, that's not bad. They gotta go for walks, too.
Yeah.
They're always trapped up in that cage.
There was that one guy that had the alligator.
Yeah, he tried to bring it in CBP. Yeah, we talked about that on the pod, too, yet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's been some crazy stuff that happened. We haven't really been talking about it. There's been too much sports stuff.
You don't have to rise with me.
Oh.
It was
what are y'all doing over there?
Keep your last down. I got it.
Yeah, there we go.
I kept trying to pour it in the glass. He kept going up and up and up, and I was like, I can't.
But yeah, no, that's wild, man. We finding snakes in the city.
I mean,
yeah, that's one of my favorite things about, like, that's the thing, dude. That was in the summer. That's one of my favorite things in the summer. The city comes alive. There's always all sorts of crazy nonsense happening.
then it's not even that warm out yet. Although I guess they are cold-blooded, so they might honestly not
they're
mind.
fine in the cold,
yeah,
probably.
they're chilling. But yeah, the submersible was good. I always loved hearing Duke just blasting a straight-up man piss in the background upstairs in the beginning. You'd be sitting there like,
Yeah.
on those diabetic pills.
No, that was before he was on the pills.
That was before that?
He
that's
was
right.
medicated.
Yeah.
That was before we knew what was wrong with him.
Yeah.
I remember like going out to like scoop his like the litter box because we just had like one, and then like, and it was just like mud. I was like, this is not like either this is the worst brand of litter in the entire universe, or there's something wrong with it. So I was like, John, you gotta take the cat to the vet. This is
either Pat's pissing in the litter box during the pod, or the cat's got something wrong with it.
Well, didn't you tell that one story the one time how you did piss and like?
Yeah, Hannah's mom like texted me the next day. She was like, "Did you? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? What's up?" She goes, "Are you peeing in the litter box?" I'm like, "No, that was one time I was drunk at a party. I did that." But it sounded like, that's why when he started doing it, I'm like, I know exactly what that sound is. I've had a strong piss in the litter box once. Yeah. John and Maddie cooking in the background.
Yeah, that was always funny. Or when Jacob, rest in peace, would come home all wasted, we'd hear him stumbling around, bumping into stuff. Like, shout out to Jacob.
Yeah.
He's a real one. But what was mine? The Go Westbrook bit to this day still cracks me up.
Yeah.
Like, he told...
Go Westbrook, man.
Nah, that one was funny. But obviously, man, the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That wasn't like our best episode, but like as far as moments that have occurred, I would say that was one of the best nights of my life. Certainly one of the best nights of my last 2 years, dude. It was just that whole week. It was just like a dream. It was a literal movie, right? Like we get here, me and Dave Kiss show up, and we're talking about doing this block pool. Like I was showing with Dave before the Super Bowl. He's like, dude, we should totally do a block pool of Pat and Hannah's. I'm like, you think we'll be able to get enough people? It's like, watch us. So then we show up. We're like, yo, you got some cardboard? You got like a poster board? You give us like a beer box, like a 30 rack. And
I just cut up the Miller Lite box.
Yeah, we just started going to work on that. And then like people are starting to file in. We're like, yo, you want a block? You want a block? You want a block? We get the whole block filled up, the whole pool filled up. We're texting people
like
all over the country.
We got it right before kickoff,
Yeah, we had Mir Long from California. He won a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him. I was talking about that with him in LA last week.
Quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost won 2 quarters. But then Dave Kiss ended up winning 2 quarters, which is kind of funny. And Dave Kiss and his brother-in-law or
his cousin or something? Yeah, I don't remember.
His family
who it was.
won 3 quarters. I'm like, all right, hold on now. This is kind of rigged right now.
No, they're gambling degenerates, dude. They know how to do that. But everything about that day was just magical. Like we get here, do the block pool, and then Dave Kiss on this pod, sitting right there, famously said, Jahan Dotson, what did he say, touchdown?
Yeah, just
over 40, over 50?
over 0.5 receptions.
Yeah,
just to get a reception.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the one catch was almost like the biggest one.
I will never forget when he caught that ball. You, me, and Dave are sitting like this, and I just started cracking up looking at Dave, dude.
And he had the Gainwell one, too. Didn't Gainwell need like
he had
10 or
Gainwell
20 yards and he hit something
I
with a
bet
big
that,
run.
too, listening to him. And then, like the Eagles obviously demolished them. And then after that, we took the party to Broad Street.
You saw Brandon Graham was laughing. He was on like Good
Jason
Morning
Kelce.
Football.
He was on
things, Kelsey's pop. Like he was on someone else's podcast again, I think with Kay Adams or whoever. But she was asking him like, how did you guys feel on the sideline when you guys were like, 34-0 at that point? And he goes, honestly, like it was hard. We were excited, but he said we had to stop ourselves from laughing because it was just nonstop. Like when they got that Devontae Smith touchdown, he's like, I just looked over at everyone else and started cracking up because they were like, "What?"
That was us too.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you put you hear the sound bite now. It's like, yeah, put a dagger in them, 34 zip. I mean, it was just we started packing coolers at that point.
Yeah,
we knew it was going down, but that was a great moment for maybe the era of the pod.
Yeah,
I should say
that was a great week for the pod, right?
Considering how the pod was born,
exactly
post Super Bowl loss. Thank you, Hannah Galdi and Hannah, for pushing us into doing it.
Yeah, that was our redemption arc. What I'm saying? That week was the redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
Us chilling at the parade, having a good time, drinking 99 bananas as they drove by us on Broad and Federal in the Pep Boys parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Like we quoted, we said that same quote before Hurts did. We said we didn't walk through the fire, smell of smoke, and then he said it, which is kind of funny that he did it after us. But yeah,
I mean, hey,
yeah, it's crazy how we came up with that, and then
yeah, just like we called the George Kittle's going to be an Eagle trade, but we'll see what that looks like in draft.
Adam Schefter, we can shift to trade talk for a brief moment. I didn't do any research yet into what they're going to do. I think I'm going to save that for next week. But Adam Schefter is very confident that the Eagles, he almost guaranteed or did guarantee that there will be a draft day trade for the Eagles specifically.
I mean,
they pretty much always. I mean, I guess whether it'll be like a big trade, like trading their first rounder for like a player, or, a current player or something. I'm sure they'll make a few moves like later in the draft or whatever. They always do.
I feel like at 32, that's your.
It
really
seems like
only
a good
option. Like,
yeah.
Is
it
to
feels
trade.
Like
when you get into like the contractual part of it, it makes sense to trade back because, I mean, if you trade out of that, like teams are going to be anxious to trade up and they get another year of a rookie deal on that 32nd pick. So if a team has someone they really like, and like the Eagles aren't enamored with who's there, then it makes sense for the Eagles to trade back. They can get better value, and it makes sense for the team trading up. They get another year of rookie contract eligibility. So in that sense, it makes sense. I kind of think we can save the draft talk for later, but there's this dude Walter Nolan that like
I've heard that name bounce.
Yeah, he's Jalen Carter-esque, not as good, but profiles very similarly.
Is he from Georgia as well?
No, he's SEC guy. I don't
just
remember.
checking.
I want to say Ole Miss. Don't quote me on that, but all indications seem to be that if he's there at 32, that's who the Eagles are going to take.
I just feel like if you're Adam Schefter and you guarantee that, like to your point, Trevor, and to like everyone's point the last couple of weeks, is that like, yeah, of course, 32 is the most likely tradable first round pick. However, I feel like if you're someone like that and you're guaranteeing a trade, it's most likely a trade up. Like that's stupid to be like, yeah, they're going to trade. Of course, they're going to trade. But
yeah, the Eagles always.
I think that. I think that what the underlining factor here is that like he's insinuating that we're going to make a move that may kind of boatload the 32nd pick with future picks from next year because we're stacked in the first 6 rounds or 5 rounds next year as well. 12 picks, I think, in the first 5 rounds next year. So could make sense that they move up somewhere. I don't know who the viable trade partner would be, but you got some friends now in New Orleans. You got some friends, in the
Arizona,
Colts and whatnot.
If you want to call them a friend.
So I think more so the Colts and the Saints. I don't really trust the Cardinals at all, but
hell no.
It's intriguing. I mean, I'm open to a move up. It makes the draft more fun that way, but we'll see what happens that way.
Yeah, we got time to figure that out. I guess not really. The draft is in what, 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So next week will be the draft.
24th.
Yeah, we can talk draft next week.
Yeah, that was just the only thing I had on Eagles touch. Segueing from the Super Bowl, obviously.
Fair, yeah. Yeah, what are the Phillies doing right now? Let's hit the Phillies real quick.
Phils?
While I look up how they're doing today.
Yeah, I mean, great series against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Really solid first game win. Lose the second one, and then the rubber match was a fucking wild game.
Great game.
Oh, that was a hell of a game. Yeah.
Castellanos with the grand slam.
Oh, love that man. I just think, and it's funny because I feel like I mentioned that the week before that game where I'm like, we typically we get up for the Dodgers when we're at home, which makes sense, right? Like they had to travel far. They had that hot streak. They were due for a couple L's. Intense matchup, obviously, with the Dodgers. They're really good. But I trust that matchup more so than I trust like interdivisional games. Like I feel like for some reason, the Braves, the Marlins, the Mets, they could be bad, they could be decent, but they always give the Phillies a hard time. Where the Dodgers, I haven't really felt that. Even last year, we played the Dodgers, and going back 2 years, like
6-1 against them.
Like
last
I'm
year.
not.
Yeah.
They don't. For some reason, we match up pretty well against them, which makes no sense.
Well, I think
compared to how we played everybody else.
I think as far as interdivisional, you got to figure these teams see you 12 times a year.
Yeah, true.
Right, so they know you a little better than the Dodgers, who you're only seeing 6 times a year. So that certainly factors into it. But at the same time, I think a lot of the reason for the Phillies' success against the Dodgers is that they've kept Ohtani in check, dude.
Yeah.
Like
he had a bad outing that whole series.
He's 1 for 11 in that series with like 3 walks and a bunch of strikeouts. Like, Jose Alvarado and Chris Sanchez made him look bad, dude. And, like, you don't see that every day with, like, a Hall of Fame caliber player where he might have an off game, but then he's going to come back and get you the next game. He just never put it together in that series. So, yeah, I mean, it was a much hyped series, rightfully so. I mean, they're coming in undefeated. We're coming in, what were we at the time? 6-1?
6-1, yeah.
Something like that, 5-1. So, yeah, it was a much hyped series, deservedly so. And, I mean, we came out on top. Every game was great. Like, the first game, like, say what you will about JT behind the plate. I'll say what I will about JT
right, that's all you right there.
I've been saying since middle of last season he's washed. But that play to throw Ohtani out towards the end of that game, and then the play on the final play of the game to get the out, like throwing the guy out trying to steal. I mean, best catcher in baseball, offensively speaking, absolutely not. But defensively, I think he's still up there.
Yeah, still got that elite pop time.
Which is why I feel like when people say best catcher in baseball, when I think of catchers, the first thing that comes to mind is defensive play, right? Like,
Yeah, that's your first job.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think that, we had a great run for maybe a year or two when he was really good, I'd say decent offensively as well. But he's getting older. I think as a catcher to be elite on both sides of the ball is very difficult to do, especially in baseball. But when he's got that mask on, he's a whole different player.
Yeah.
He's got 5 more years left in him that way. Offensively, I give it to you, he's a whole liability. I mean, it's terrible that way, but it was good to see him have some pop. 2 pickoffs, incredible. I don't know if it was the blue jerseys or what, with the little lightning strike and in that arm, a little.
How do y'all feel about those?
I think they're so stupid.
They're really bad.
I think they're so bad.
So here's what I'll say: is last year I hated them. I just thought it was abhorrent. Like, I get it; it's the Philadelphia City colors or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's not what I think of when I think of the Phillies or any Philly sports team for that matter. I know the Eagles had those blue and yellow jerseys way back in the day.
Yeah, and like fucking 19.
Right, but yeah,
60-something,
based off of the city colors, which, okay, sure, fair. But I mean, we've all become so accustomed. The Phillies have been around since the 1880s. And I can't speak to what they wore in 1883, but I can speak to what they've worn for most of the last century, if not the entire century.
Yeah.
And it's always been red, white, gray, maybe a little blue in there. It's never been blue and yellow. It just looks bad, right? But then I started seeing some of these other Team City Connect jerseys. And I'm like, these are all bad. And then I started comparing them to the Phillies. I'm like, okay, the Phillies City Connect jersey is still really bad, yes. But it's not the worst in baseball.
Yeah. I actually don't mind the colors. It's just the design that I think
the design's stupid, too.
It's very much...
It's childish.
Yeah, it's like a 10th grader taking a graphic design class in high school type of design.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't really mind. I mean, yeah, because I think it's like, it's fine to do something with the colors from the city flag. I think it's a, it's a fine color scheme, but
I think it's tough when
better with it.
I think it's tough when you already have such a strong alternate uniform. Like, they got the powder blues, you got the maroon, you got
cream.
the cream.
So
like, you already
cool
have
stuff.
so many good jerseys that this just feels like force-fed.
It does kind of remind me how, like, in most like soccer teams will have their regular, like, their home and away, and then they'll have a third jersey that they wear sometimes, and it's almost like a joke that they're always just really ugly and weird. Like, they'll have like neon colors and all this kind of stuff. So it kind of reminds me of that. Like, it's just we have our home jerseys, we have our away, we do the powder blue stuff, and then we have our designated just ugly, fucking offensive jerseys.
Which they have BP
which
for
I think
that.
it's kind of fine,
It's just every Friday home game. That's what we got to see, though.
Friday Night Lights, probably for the electric and shit.
Yeah, well, remember they have them. I don't think they wear them anymore, but for like a year or two there, they had the solid red ones.
The spring training Johns.
Yeah, but
like
they would wear them
practice.
during the season sometimes.
Yeah, I
like
remember
a couple years ago. Those were pretty hideous.
You know what they gotta bring back?
Worse.
You know what they should bring back though? Speaking of baseball jerseys, so now that we're on that topic, the sleeveless jerseys.
The sleeveless, like I don't know if the Phillies ever had that, but I remember the Diamondbacks used to have like
the
it was
White
almost
Sox
like
had
a
that
vest,
shit too.
kind of like a vest style.
Yeah.
With they would have like sleeves like under, or maybe some of them did, some of them didn't. I don't
some
know,
of them didn't, but man, you get some guys that were juiced up with no sleeves on. That's kind of fucking cool.
I would love to see them wear because I know they do the powdered blues on Thursday, but I would also like to see them bring back the old like '80s home jerseys, because I think those are kind of. I feel like they fly under the radar because like whenever people go back to that era, it's always the powdered blues, which are great, but I would like to see them also bring back the. The old, like, maroon pinstripes.
Yeah, I used to love those. Yeah. Like, they bring them back for retro night, and every time I'm like, damn, that's hard. Like, they should wear those more.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you had so many
options. You could, alternate, like, every other Thursday where the home or if they have a Thursday away game.
And you're not playing Toronto, you could do it. Yeah, like, I feel like...
I guess the powdered blues were the away jerseys.
But they wear them at home now, too.
But that's what they wear at home on Thursdays.
We got a lot of variants for the Phillies that are great, and this was just... To have that to be the outcome was just pretty disappointing.
Yeah, this
red would have been fine. I see people that are selling that shit like illegally online. I'm like, the reds look way better than the blues do. They like make that blue tone, but it's red in maroon.
What do you mean?
Like the jerseys that they wear on Friday night, that blue one now, right? With the City Connect thing or whatever.
Oh.
But they make it maroon. It looks kind of cool.
Oh, that would be okay. Yeah.
People like just kind of illegally made them and whatnot, like on whatever, eBay and whatnot.
Shout out to the bootleg market.
Yeah, it looks good though. Those, I'm like, that shit looks fucking sick.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
I was like, I mean, I haven't bought any kind of jerseys in a while, but I feel like now that Fanatics controls everything, I'm kind of totally fine with just buying bootleg shit.
I'm not going to buy an actual jersey.
Yeah, it's the same fucking quality. You might even get better quality out of the fucking bootlegs.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
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 Speaking of getting better quality,
though I guess now with these fucking tariffs, those bootleg jerseys might be costing you a little more.
Oh, here we go again.
Dude,
120. What was it in China? 125% now.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where all those are coming.
Unless you're getting them from someone in Delco right now that already had a stock, you're good to go.
Yes, that's exactly. It's going to be like when remember when they banned the original Four Locos, but people would like stock up on the old Four Locos.
I got the caffeinated ones.
They became exactly. They became like a hot commodity.
Buying Four Loko off the Four Loko black market.
Well, I remember Dean was talking about how people would sell them.
Yeah, he had a couple for like years. I remember he had like.
I've got some vintage Four Locos here.
Yeah, I want to say
this was a great year.
It was like he bought a few like senior year of college, and then I remember like we had a Wolf House party like several years after that, and he still had his last OG can, and he drank it.
Yeah,
it's like that would have been worth some money, but I mean, this is
wild, having caffeine and alcohol mixed together is not great. Remember Sparks?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever had one of those.
Yo, I used to drink Sparks.
Never had Sparks. But I liked the Four Loko days. I didn't mind it.
Yo, Sparks, this was wild. Yo, this is when we grew up. We grew up in Collingswood, New Jersey. Trevor, I know your parents are listening. My mom might be listening to this too, but whatever.
That is ancient history.
I'm going to tell a story about us being 16 years old or whatever. So we grew up in Collingswood, New Jersey. You would have to take the Paco to get to 8th and Market. And then you'd have to take you'd get off at 8th and Market and you'd take the L. Out to 40th and Market. So we used to do this when we were 15 years old. We'd get on the Paco like a Saturday afternoon. Take it, get to the L, take the L to 40th and Market. We'd get out there. We'd walk to, where was it? Like 43rd and Spruce. We would walk out to this place. Back then it used to be called Varsity Pizza. Now I think it's called Eddie's. But we used to walk all the way out there, and they would just serve to underage kids. Like, not even like, we were 15, like, not like 19, 20, where you're close, where you might be able to pass. No, we're 15. We would walk and just buy.
Too young to even have a job legally.
Yeah. Like, we didn't even take the SATs, didn't even take the HESPAs. You know what I'm saying? We were young.
Yeah.
And we'd walk in there and buy a bunch of malt liquor and beer. And walk back. The first shot I ever did at the bar was there. I was 15. I didn't know you were supposed to tip. I don't think they cared. I don't think they knew that I didn't know I was supposed to tip.
Probably used to that. That's the deal you strike when you decide to serve underage kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like
you're going
to make money off the sales.
They're financially inept. Yeah. You don't know what's going on.
But I remember I saw Sparks. I was like, damn, what the hell is this? So I was just walking around like West Philly, like walking back to the train, just chugging Sparks. I felt like my heart was going to explode even back then, dude. Like, I remember I drank 2. you would get the Sparks tongue, or your tongue was all like highlighter green. You're walking around, the heart's bumping 110 BPM. Like you're making all sorts of faces at people like this on the train, sticking your tongue out. I was up to no good. I was barking up the wrong tree. But hey, we used to act up like that. We'd come back, bring it all back to Jersey. We'd have parties. We'd have the Dean basement parties, you remember? Yeah. Dean's smoking chamber, sitting in there. the little, not even room. Like the little area between the cellar doors and the actual door to his basement, that was the smoking chamber. Yeah, we used to have a good time back then. We still do. But yeah, I digress. We're some dopey 15-year-olds parents that are listening. But hey, we turned out great. Look at us.
Yeah. We got 100 episodes of a podcast, you know?
Yeah, how many people do you know that can say that?
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? True. But nah, Sparks was all right. Four Loko. I'll never forget. Speaking of Dean and going up to him when he was in college, Mir Long one time. We got to get Mir Long to call in on the pod once we figure out our remote thing.
Yeah.
But Mir Long one time, we went up to see Dean. Mir Long drank 2 Four Lokos. He was full of epic quotes, dude.
That's a lot.
And this was like the last of the caffeinated Johns. He had these epic quotes. I'll never forget. He drank one and he was already like feeling good. And he cracks the other one. He goes, yeah, the Four Loko train leaves early and it gets there pretty soon. Yeah, shout out to Mir Long. But anyway, I could go on and on about stories about our debauchery drinking like caffeinated alcohol drinks when we were younger. The Phillies are up 3-2.
All right.
Top of the 7th. They were just up 1-0. Then they were just down 2-1. Top of the 7th, they just went up 3-2.
All right.
Let's get that Atlanta ass. I guess maybe Harper hit a dinger. Let's see.
We'll see. But yeah, so the Dodgers series, I think it was better what we expected. I think we came out on top. We were happy with that. We knew we were going to play tough for them. 2 out of
3 is great.
Yeah. And then Braves, they came in having only one win. That was
brutal. The only thing that would have made it worse is if that error or non-error happened in the 9th inning and it led to like a walk-off. That would have just made it even worse. But it was like the 4th inning or something that happened.
Whenever you see a fucking like, T-ball league kind of bullshit, like they might as well have run into each other and had the ball drop between them. It felt like that.
Yeah, it was very Little League type of shit.
Especially after Sosa had that crazy ass snag.
Yeah,
I know.
He had that great like.
Well, it was Rojas's fault. Yeah. Like it was his responsibility.
Center fielder, is.
Watching the game though, I felt like I really did think Sosa was like, oh my. Then
I think Topper even confirmed after the game that it was like Johan Rojas.
He roasted him. He's like, no, he was saying yours, which isn't right.
That's not.
But like,
you're the center fielder, dude.
Yeah, but it's like any sport you play, whether it's baseball, outfield, volleyball, like you don't ever say it's either you either say mine or just don't.
Yeah, you aren't telling the other guy, it's yours, it's yours. No, you aren't doing that.
But that's what Sosa did, unfortunately. It's his first game out there, I get it, but like, damn, that just sucked that. Yeah,
they ended up costing in the game in the end, right?
Because then it kind of made the highlight a little less sexy at that point because you see him snag a home run out of the fence. You're like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Yeah, and then that was insane.
An instantly brain dead move. You're like, well, okay, it is his first game out there.
Yeah. So we got to talk about this, Trevor. You brought up a good point. That should have been an error.
I know. Well,
that's so frustrating.
It's so unbelievable that they still do the scoring like this. Like, if it glances off a guy's glove, that's an obvious error. But if something like that happens, it's not because no one touched it. It's so ridiculous. I mean, that's why like fielding stats are so dumb, and even like ERA, you kind of have to take with a grain of salt. I mean, they do have other, they have like FIP to kind of account for that. But it just sucks for Wheeler to have 3 earned runs tacked onto his line.
Tagged up,
but those 3 runs, like that could come back to bite him in Cy Young race.
It probably will. But Kruk touched on that.
It also spoiled a streak that he had of like for the Phillies, like consecutive starts of 6 innings, giving up 2 or less earned runs. That I think at that point was the longest in franchise history, and now like it shouldn't even be
bad.
But yeah,
it's just bad. Anytime you have an outfielder just let the ball fall, like I mean, you die for a ball. A Castellanos sliding catch, he misses that. Okay, one thing, but to like be there and just stand there with 2 guys, that is the most frustrating play, I think, in baseball.
Yeah,
One of them,
so annoying. You would think that, like, I can understand them ruling that a hit in the moment, but you would think that they would come back and the league would, like, overturn that and make it an error. It's so silly that it's not. But yeah, I mean, the way that, like, fielding is looked at is always kind of fucked up, because I feel like the way that players are positioned goes so underrated, and because it's like, especially when you look at, like, who ends up winning Gold Glove awards, it's oftentimes it'll go to the players that make easy plays look hard,
right?
And the players that make hard plays look easy or get overlooked, and it's not because it's not as flashy or as impressive looking, but it's just they know where to be, you know.
Yeah, I think
so why Chase Utley never won a Gold Glove, even though he totally deserved one. So he was much better second baseman than Brandon Phillips.
Yeah, Brandon Phillips would make everything look hard and flashy. No, you're right though.
But that's
it's true.
Yeah, I think the other thing, maybe this is a hot take, maybe it isn't. I've always felt like this, right? So yeah, I believe that if a fielder commits an error that leads to runs, it should be unearned runs for the pitcher, except for when the pitcher commits the error. Right? Because if a pitcher commits a blatant catching or throwing error that leads to runs, I mean, sure, like, technically it's an unearned run because that run wouldn't have scored otherwise, but it's the pitcher making the error, so that should still count against their ERA.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know. I've always felt that way.
Because on the one hand, like, ERA is supposed to be a pitching stat, and it's not based on, like, his pitching, but it's also he has a responsibility as a baseball player to field his position. So
yeah, that's
interesting.
I always felt that way. Like, no one will ever agree with me, like, fully on that, but I don't know. I mean, fielding stats, it's all just a bunch of nonsense. I mean,
got more ideas here for Rob Manfred.
Yeah, which Rob Manfred again,
man. There's gonna be a theme for every week.
We got a whole book for him right now.
I think for baseball season, Rob Manfred, man, we've been touting you as, I guess, probably the second best owner, commissioner in sports. After what do you call it, Roger Goodell, Gary Bettman, Adam Silver, y'all in the tank right now. But hey, Rob Manfred, man, you should get your advice from the Citywide Pod, man. We can help make the game better, even though it's already thriving and doing really well.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Also
sucks that, like, you know, Rojas, that he's known for his fielding, and that just was even more like,
I know, that's always been his thing. Because I remember, I guess it was not last year, maybe the year before, because we played, like, the Braves both time, or whatever. But, like, he had that one, like, amazing catch that saved, like, 3 runs. Again, that one of the series against the Braves. And I'm thinking, like, even if this dude is just, like, a 0 in the lineup, he's worth putting in there just because, like, he just saved you 3 runs.
Right.
And so for him to, like, fuck up like that, it's like, ugh.
Rob literally said that, like, 2 series before the Dodgers series. He said that. He was like, yeah, like, Rojas is, once his back is in there, he's totally a piece of this team that needs to be here. Because his defense is so good. That's why he's been on the team for the last 3 years. But, like, being a veteran, quote unquote, which he is in center field right now, knowing that you have a rookie starting in left field, position wise, you don't, like, react differently to that, like, call him off, or I don't know, like, you let someone, clearer than he heard someone say, like, you got it, and just didn't know what to do. That was just, I don't know. He's still an idiot.
I mean, I'm not gonna,
I wouldn't say he's an idiot.
He was an idiot for that. Yeah, that game, he was an idiot. In that instance, he was an idiot for sure. Not as a person. I don't know him like that personally, but that was a fucking stupid play.
Yeah.
As a seasoned vet, as a center fielder, take that fucking ball then.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
Plus, it's not like it's his first time playing center field. Like, he's probably been a center fielder in the minors his whole life. Like,
he was right. He didn't have to run for it. He wasn't running to, like, crash into anybody. They were standing there. Know, man. They had time to wait.
He's been differential because, I don't know, Sosa's a more established major league player. I don't know what he was looking at there. Whatever, yo.
Looking at everything but the ball.
Yeah.
But anyway, the series is off to a classic, divisional rival start. Very tumultuous.
Hey, we're
and up 3-2. Tonight's looking pretty good so far. We'll see. But, to my point earlier, like, whenever we play...
What's Taijuan Walker's line?
Is he out?
He's out.
He's out. He was 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Dude, he still has a 0 ERA.
All right.
Still no earned runs.
Not
he
bad.
threw 94 pitches.
Yeah.
Primetime Ty's back, baby. My boy.
Cheers to Ty right now.
I always believed in him.
Yeah, he threw a gem his first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously another solid outing against the Braves there. So we're saying, man, just need him to be a solid fifth starter, and I mean it's only 2 games, but
well, I mean it's
better
better. I mean his ERA, I feel like last year was already at this point 4, so I'll take it.
At least it was probably like 8.
Yeah, given his only 2 games, is probably
he finished with a 7.10 ERA in 90 innings.
Yeah.
So I'll take a 0 ERA in 2 starts, like 10 innings worth.
I mean, I'll hand it to him. Like we have rightly gotten on his case for. I remember after I guess it was the 2022 or 23 play. I guess it was 23.
The 2020 when he was talking shit.
Yeah, when he didn't really get used.
That was
in the playoffs.
20. What was that? Yeah, that would have been 23. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh fuck this guy. Like he has a shitty attitude.
That's when I started to dislike him.
To his credit, he like ramped up his off-season conditioning and his whole routine, put in the work. His velocity's back. He's throwing a lot better. He's got some good movement on his pitches. So, shout out to Primetime Ty.
That's all you can ask for. I feel like, not to bring back Rojas into this, but it's always a kind of a Ben Simmons.
You found your new guy. You found your new guy now that what's his name is on the team anymore.
Derek Hall.
Now that Derek Hall's gone. Now you got your new guy.
Now it's Rojas.
No. I was only mentioning his name to bridge this gap real quick. Where every offseason Rojas is like, I'm going to put on some more muscle. I'm going to get my batting up a little bit to help out the team. Didn't quite hit. Where Walker, had a down year, said, okay, let me go correct some shit. And you can see the progression now of, okay, he had a bad year. He was talking shit, whatever. Didn't get used a lot. Paid him all that money. Velocity was trash last year. And now he's, a slight uptick in velocity, more consistent play. Again, 2 starts, we'll see. But as a pitcher, that's all you really can do is, have good outings. And he's been doing that against good teams. So I'm into it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not comparing Rojas at all to Derek Hall. He's still a bum. He's not there yet, but he's close. That play, I'm like, hold on now. But until he gets a fucking pinky toe hurt or a thumb, he's all right in my book.
Fair enough. Yeah, Primetime Ty, once Suarez comes back, once Ranger comes back, they'll have a decision to make. I mean, it seems like Ranger could be back soon. I guess he's still on rehab.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what they end up doing after that. Maybe they demote him to the bullpen. Not Ranger. Maybe they demote Primetime Ty to the bullpen. Who knows? Maybe someone else gets hurt and he continues to get his moment. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be tough to move him to the bullpen with how good he's been. But I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, Ranger could also suffer a setback. That back's been bulky for the last year or so.
Yeah.
Right? So you never know. But yeah, Primetime Ty was previously my subject of ire. You know who that is this year?
Now it's your subject of desire.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. No, he definitely
he loves a Walker.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I was talking about this with Dean and Siobhan, DFOps, dear friends of the pod, and I was saying, I only buy jerseys of black players, right? That's why I have my Wayne Simmons jersey, the only Flyers jersey I ever owned. The only one I will own until the Flyers have another prominent black player.
Yeah, I gotta get Zade Wisdom up here.
Yeah,
I don't know whatever happened to him.
I don't think he did I think he had a down year last year.
Yeah, I don't want to get off a tangent about the Flyers prospects.
Yeah, we'll talk about we'll have plenty of time to talk about the Flyers after their season's officially over.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, so I was saying to them, I was like, the Phillies don't have any prominent black players. So of course I'm not going to buy a jersey right now. Plus this whole thing with Fanatics, hell no. But then Dean was like, what about Taijuan Walker? So I said this. I said, if the Phillies win the World Series and Taijuan Walker makes an appearance in the playoffs, I'll buy a Taijuan Walker jersey.
In the playoffs in its totality.
Yeah, not the World Series, the playoffs.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking to it.
You got any old other Phillies jerseys? What you got in the rotation?
I had a Victorino. It stopped fitting me. I donated it. I got a Mitch Williams.
You donated it because he's not playing.
Here's the deal. I got a Mitch Williams.
Ooh.
Not black.
It's very not black.
Yeah. Not black.
Not as far as you can get.
My dad bought it for me years ago.
It's like, why don't you just go get a Kurt Schilling while you're at
it? Nah, my dad bought it for me. He didn't know any better at the time.
Yeah. I mean, 99, that's a cool number.
I had it.
But hey, Taijuan Walker.
Yeah,
99.
Yeah, hey,
you could just get the Williams. Just switch it out.
Not even the Williams, just the ILLI. Yeah.
Just the Illiams. That's it, yeah.
But I had an Adubel Herrera until he got caught beating his wife or whatever. I was like,
I don't have any player. I don't have any player. Well, I have that Dalton one, but that's not like a real.
Well, that's an OG though.
Yeah, and that's not
Shout
like a real.
Shout out to him. Rest
it's also
in
like
peace.
kind of like a novelty jersey or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have. I have like a plain red pinstripes, and then I have that old school like the 1920s like wool one that's like really like thick. And,
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have this. Yeah.
I think I've seen you wear that.
It just has Philly on it. Like, yeah. But
I have a.
I always thought it'd be cool, because they don't. I don't think they do this anymore at the stadium. But you used to be able to like bring like if you had like a blank jersey, you could bring it into the store and get them like put a name on it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't think they do that anymore. But I always thought it'd be funny to like bring my blank one in and get it turned into a Robert Persons jersey.
Yo, he was the man.
He was the man, dude.
The two home run game.
Yeah, he was like because he was kind of like when I was first like becoming a real like diehard Phillies fan. He was always the guy who was like the opening day starter.
Yeah, he was their ace in the late 90s, early 2000s.
And he would like every once in a while he'd pop one.
Dude, I'll never
Robert
forget the game where he had a grand slam and a 3-run home run against the Expos at the Vet.
Oh, dude, yeah, like, he was the shit.
He was the man, dude. Now, Robert Person, damn, that's obscure. That's an obscure Phillies reference that probably most people listen.
Maybe I'll just get a custom one made.
Yeah, you should. What was his jersey number? 31. I think.
That sounds right.
I think, yeah.
Maybe something like that.
I wonder
That's
what he's
wild
up
that you
to.
remember the number. I did not.
I'm weird like that. I wonder what he's up to.
I'm not even
days.
good with like current players' numbers.
No.
It's not my strength.
Like it's like Randy Wolf wore 43.
Oh yeah, the Wolfpack.
Mike Lieberthal was 13.
Yeah,
I could remember some of these like jerseys from 20. Bobby Abreu was 53.
Bobby Abreu. Yeah,
you liked him?
Yeah,
he doesn't seem like your type of player.
I love Bobby Abreu. I don't know what it is, but I always like Bobby Abreu. Yeah.
Yeah, he never he was really good, but he never looked like he was trying. So people always hated him.
He was like he would have been adored in the like post Moneyball era.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was before his time.
Before his time, yeah. Before people really appreciated on base percentage and shit.
Yeah, he would have some seasons where his OBP would be almost 400.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's Hall of Famer. But
I thought he was great.
You're preaching to the choir. He won a couple Gold Gloves while he was here. Mm-hmm. No, I loved Bobby Abreu.
Plus, it's a great baseball name, Bobby Abreu. I don't know what
when
it is.
Harry Cowles would say it.
Yeah.
Home run by Bobby Abreu.
Come on,
That's
now.
awesome.
Yeah.
I started following this Instagram page. It's just Phillies highlights, and they have some highlights going back to like the 1970s.
Hell yeah!
So hearing Harry Cowles call like some of these like home runs from like the 90s and 2000s, it kills me. There's one against the Giants in 08. Pat Burrell hits a walk-off, and you can hear Harry Cowles literally just laughing. He's like, Pat Burrell! Pat Burrell! Rest in peace, Harry Cowles.
R.I.P., man. Great voice. Legendary voice of Philadelphia right there.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. I mean, it was kind of like poetic that he got to see the Phils win the World Series again, and then
dude, he was so
died
happy.
a few months later. Yeah,
yeah, in the booth. Didn't they find him in the booth?
It was.
I think he was in a hotel.
It was a game day.
Wasn't he in the stadium though? When
he was in the stadium, but he wasn't in the booth. But it was game day. He was had just gotten to the stadium, and just that was that.
Damn, yeah.
This was wild. So one of the years, I guess this is probably 2009, 2000. It was right after he died. 2009, 2010. I talked about a couple weeks ago how I went out to a series at PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And my family took a plane out there. Me, my dad, my nephew, my sister, we took a plane out there. And on the plane ride, we're riding with a bunch of other Phillies fans. Short plane ride.
I was going to say, it was like a half hour.
40 minutes. Really short.
This is a long drive, so I mean.
It's 5 hours, I like Pittsburgh. That's what I think I talked about before. But anyway, so we're riding the plane out there. And some of the other Phillies fans are talking about, Harry Cowles we used to always fly on this plane to Pittsburgh with Harry Cowles from Philly. They were like, he'd be at the airport just chain smoking cigs, just telling stories the whole time. It's like he'd have his he'd go out, he'd get himself a beer or a whiskey, sit there at the bar, and anyone that walked up, he would just tell them stories.
Damn.
Go out, chain smoke a couple cigs, come back and keep telling stories while he's waiting for the plane. That's a good man. There was a good man.
Yeah, never heard a bad thing about Harry Kalas.
The voice of my childhood. Probably, I dare say one of the reasons I got in the Phillies growing up. It was just his voice was so iconic. You would put it on TV or on the radio. I'll never forget. I stayed at my grandmom's house one time. I was like 10 or 11. We put the Phillies game on TV, and she was just like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Harry Kalas." And then like she was like 80-some years old. Nah, probably not that old. 70-some years old at the time. Then she started talking like him, and she's like, "I love his voice. He's just an icon, man." Shout out to Harry Kalas.
He was a good man. I feel like the Philly area has been known to have pretty good commentary that way. You know, you even have pretty notorious voices.
I feel like the Phillies have a pretty fucking good booth now. I used like Tom McCarthy. I'll say like when he first started, couldn't stand him, but he's grown on me. He's gotten a lot better.
Yep,
and has definitely grown on me. And like him and Kruk are fucking great.
Him and Kruk are like a dynamic duo that no one in the league has there at all. But
Kruk is great, and obviously Fransky is like
Fransky's gold.
Yeah.
What about? I think y'all probably know how I feel about it. Sundays with Schmidt, where you at?
Oof. No. Mm-mm. I'm not into it at all.
Yeah, I agree.
He says some shit too. I'm like, is he allowed to say this on the air? Like he's always like back. We would never dance like that at the plate, if you know what I mean. I'm like, what do you mean, Mike? Like,
he does say some like racist stuff sometimes, or
homophobic shit, racy shit. You're like, he's like, back in our day, we never did that, right? And Kruk's like, I'm not saying anything in this. I
remember one time, like someone made like a throwing error or something, and Schmidt said like, "Yeah, he threw that one like a girl." I was like, "Oh, dude, come on." It's like put Grandpa to bed.
Yeah, seriously. Dude, so it was so bad, the Sunday game against the Dodgers, 2 pitches in, he's like, yeah, that wasn't really a great leadoff hitter like swing right there. It's like, bro, it's 2025. It's like Shohei Ohtani's batting leadoff, Kyle Schwarber's batting leadoff. Gone are the days where you have, say, a Ricky Henderson, Hall of Fame player, by the way, but gone are the days where you have a slap hitter batting leadoff. Right. Like, it's all about getting a lead early. Like, miss me with this, he's not really a prototype leadoff hitter. Maybe not in your day in the 1970s, but hey, this ain't your day anymore, dude. And so many of these just things about how the game has changed that he just can't accept.
No. It's an era horrible. Of baseball that like...
That's the worst when you have guys who are paid to announce games who don't even like what they're watching.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, have some people that actually enjoy the sport.
That Dodgers game, he was just there for the fries.
Yeah.
Once the fries were in the booth, he was like, I was like, ew, dude, like, I want to hear this shit. Like,
he's like, I don't know if I should be chewing on camera. It's like, you shouldn't be, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is funny how, John Kruk is becoming like a nationwide phenomenon. Like people that like, I guess like outside of like Phillies fans probably don't like really remember John Kruk as a player that much.
Maybe Chicago a little bit,
but now he's just, I'll have it come up on just like, my TikTok algorithm of like people that like are not even like Philly. It's just like the best like John Kruk moments or whatever. Like I think I remember like there was even like a segment on like the John Oliver show where they had like some like John Kruk. Yeah. When he was telling the story about the prison game. It's like, oh my God, that was insane.
He's like up at the plate and they're like, this guy. He's like, I didn't want to hit the ball. I just want to like go back home, be out of here. Like these guys were fucking scary. Like I don't want to be playing anymore.
Remember when he asked the he was talking about how like when he played in Mexico, they used to have like every year they'd have like a game with like the local prison or something.
Yeah, I remember.
And he said he asked the catcher like, what did that guy do? And he's like, oh yeah, I found. He found out that his girlfriend was cheating on him and lit her car on fire with her and a guy in it. He said that on a broadcast.
Well, like a random Tuesday night. They're like, and now it's a 1-2 count. Yeah.
No,
the best is like, it's funny to me too that like he's blown up that way on a like national scale, and he's like the most antisocial person too.
Yeah.
He even hates going to like, I love when he's always like, I got the after show fucking commentary right now too. I gotta talk to fucking...
Yeah, he's like, Tom, do you want to do this? Michael, do you want to do this? And then like they bring him out and you can tell sometimes, like sometimes I'll watch it And it's just like, he clearly does not want to be here. He's just doing this because he's contractually obligated to. He's just like giving real brief, real short answers, just stating the clear, obvious, cranky. Not providing any like next level analysis. Like, yeah, Michael, he hit the ball.
They had these like sick kids a week ago that were like, yeah, they lucked out. They wanted a drawing to like speak to the after game crew, and Crunk was like, oh brother, he was like, how is that a reward? I feel so bad for these kids, and they were like, they're here right now. He's like, wow, yeah, like good luck you guys tonight. That'll be great, yeah.
Yeah, he's the man, dude.
He's so funny.
But yo, I never got to tell you all about who my new subject of ire is.
Yeah.
Jordan Romano. He's ass.
Ooh,
dude.
yeah.
Garbage.
Not been good.
Trash.
Yeah.
He was so bad. Yo, so here's the deal, right?
Fucking Ray Romano.
I was watching a game in spring training, and I was like, damn, this dude kind of looks like Aaron Nola.
I'm a bad pitcher.
But then...
I couldn't get anybody out.
Bad.
But then we were watching the game on Sunday, and in the group chat, like, Siobhan was like, yo, he kind of looks like Lil Dicky.
That's who it looks like 100%.
And then I started scrolling through Twitter, and I seen a couple other people say, like, yeah, get, like, Timu Lil Dicky off the mound. And I was just like, wow, he really does.
He does a little Dicky.
Yeah.
But, dude, he's ass, dude.
He's so bad. He's real bad.
He's worse than Taijuan was last year.
Oh, definitely. And he gets back. I love when he gets back to the fucking, like, dugout, and he's sitting there, he's like, watching the little iPad, like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. I fucked up. I'm like, man, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at right now. He's trash.
Nah, his velo's way down. Like, he used to throw 96, 97 with Toronto. Sunday, he was like 91, 92, couldn't find his spots.
Yeah, that's pretty much who we swapped Jeff Hoffman for.
And Jeff Hoffman's dealing right now.
You saw his walkout, what they did for him up there?
No.
Yeah, he's fucking sick, dude.
He's like their closer now.
Yeah.
He's got like an entrance.
It's got the whole fucking thing. The whole dome is all lit up and everything. It's kind of sick, I'm not going to lie.
Good for him.
He comes running out. It's like a far run.
Uncle Jeff.
Yeah.
Cousin Jeff.
Yeah.
He's younger than us. He can't be our uncle.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, he technically, like...
That's possible.
You can have uncles and aunts younger than you. It's not common. But yeah, he's cousin Jeff. But, man, Jordan Romano's ass, dude.
Bad.
Like...
Real bad.
That, like, when we talk about the bullpen, if you take him out of the equation, the bullpen's actually been all right. They got a 4.15 ERA. This is including him. A 4.15 ERA, 19th. A 14th ranked FIP. Of fielding independent pitching, which you were talking about earlier, when it takes only the pitcher's skill and what they can affect into account. At 3 runs per 9, essentially. Their batting average on balls in play is high. It's the 4th worst in the league at 333. Well, that's Romano, dude. Like, letting guys get on base, not holding runners on. He's worse than Kimbrel. I guess that was game 1 against the Dodgers. Shohei tried to steal on him. Shohei would have had the base stolen if JT wasn't so great, right? Like, he doesn't even try to hold runners. Like, at least Kimbrel would, like, throw over. Or Kimbrel would, like, just balk. Like, intentionally balk the guy over so he wasn't on first. But, like, yeah, this guy, He
also just looks like he doesn't care on the mound at anything that's going on. Like, he doesn't look phased, which is one thing, but he's not, like... unfazed where he's so focused he's unfazed. He just he doesn't give a fuck what's going on at all. He's just happy to be there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I understand he's coming back from injury. He was hurt last year, and he's probably like, hey, I got a new lease on life.
He's a new Derek Hall right now.
You only got he's my new Taijuan Walker. He's your new Derek Hall. He's all of the above, dude. I'm
going to have to go kill him then.
He's not doing a good job right now. He is not. And yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do something about him. Maybe that's the move, is if he really doesn't pan out, he's only on a 1-year deal, let him go and you move, what do you call it, primetime tie to Joe Ross's spot. Joe Ross looked good.
Yeah, he's been nice.
He looked all right. And then Joe Ross takes the Jordan Romano spot. I don't know what you do. Outside of him, the bullpen's been fine. But
even you might have another, Andrew Painter might be coming up, so that's another guy to squeeze in there.
He's looking good.
Well, no, he's not throwing right now, Painter.
He's not?
Yeah,
I'm not watching that.
I think he's like scheduled to start doing like some minor league.
Yeah, he's not pitching because they want to keep his innings down just in case they need him later in the year, which makes sense.
Yeah,
but he will look good. Like in spring training, like my understanding was what they were seeing him throw on the radar gun was like 97, 98.
Yeah,
that's like Wheeler-esque type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's 19, 20. I think he's 20 now, probably 21 at this point. So he's got his whole career ahead of him. He's already throwing hard. He'll continue to throw that hard as long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that Jordan Romano's asked, what do y'all make of this Edmundo hype, dude? I like Edmundo. That play aside.
He's got some swag. We were talking, last year. I mean, I feel like we were talking about how this team lacks a little swag. Mm-hmm. I feel like Edmundo Sosa's got some swag.
I think it's warranted too. I mean, how many games in a row he had 2 hits? So, makes sense. He's pretty much your Swiss. He's kind of like what Whit Merrifield was supposed to be, as a Swiss Army knife kind of player.
That's a good way to put it,
but Edmundo Sosa's been there the whole time, and the fact that he did ball out in left field, whatever that play in center field that fucked up, but the snag was huge to be there in your first time playing left field. His hits were great. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm into the hype.
Dude, yeah. After Sunday's game, he was batting .550.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
I get it. It's early in the season, small sample size, but regardless, to be hitting .550 at any point in the season is pretty impressive. I mean, and these weren't all cheapy hits.
Game 1 is pretty good.
Yeah, and you want to play, I mean, if you got a guy that can play decently in the field, that's one thing. But if your bat is that electric, yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
You get a sub in for Casty who never needs a sub, go for it, just, whatever. I mean, the guy, he's everywhere.
Yeah. But also, you expect him to cool off at some point. But I do like the fact that they're recognizing that this guy's hot. Let's keep him in the lineup.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do to keep this guy in. And then if he cools down, you shift things back or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, as long as he's playing like this, they keep throwing him out there.
Topper's always said he's just happy to be in the clubhouse. He's there. He's every day. He's in there. He shows up. He's
Dude, I always it's funny. Every time his name comes up, the first thing I think of too is back when he was in the Cardinals. That play when he threw the ball to first and just hit the umpire right in the head.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
brought it up.
The
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's the man, dude.
Well, he's come a long way.
Yes.
And again, he's more known for his bats right now.
Right.
I mean, his fielding is okay, but his bats have been nuts.
No, his at-bats have been great.
Yeah.
I mean, and not for nothing, but talking about vibes and just how he just brings the energy. Let's be honest, for all Garrett Stubbs' flaws as an offensive player, as a major league player, he brought the vibes. I don't think they've really missed a beat so far because Edmundo Sosa brings a lot of that same energy, I think. Aside from, if and when we make the playoffs, Garrett Stubbs is a whole different animal.
Listen, I mean, you could easily fill a drunk fucking void for that. I honestly,
we can get you in there.
They should fucking put me in there for a day. I don't have to play for the team, but you want to put me in some fucking overalls and get me all wasted? I can do it. No big deal.
Every team should have a designated drinker.
Right. But Stubbs, I never liked the guy, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He had that one hungover day game where he hit that home run, which was okay,
that was
that's
hilarious.
Nuts.
I remember watching that.
I was like, that shit's sick. I'm into that.
Yeah,
but
funny.
overall, as a career,
overall, there you go.
Okay,
overalls.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But as his career in Philadelphia, bum. I would never like the guy.
I mean,
might be a nice person. I'm not knocking that. As a player, though, I just never really bought into the role that he played. It never filled in like
fair.
that.
I mean,
I mean, it's you're never expecting much from your backup catcher, but
it's nice
but
when
a
you get
little
it.
bit would be nice.
But I think the point I'm trying to make is that Edmundo kind of gives you both, right? He gives you that locker room presence, that vibes guy that everyone likes. All the players on the team like him. Castellanos was saying, Taryn Hatcher was doing an interview hit, and she was like, yeah, Castellanos is sitting next to me nodding as I'm saying how much everyone in the locker room loves this guy and how hard he works.
Yeah, but I think seeing how the playoffs have transpired the last couple of years, right? The vibes guy can only do so much. But if you have a guy that can be a vibes guy and also produce on offense, on defense, you're good to go. I don't need a guy to be fucking drunk the whole time and putting on a great playlist while we're partying because he won the whatever. At this point, they're over that. We're not in a playoff drought for 30 years where you're just happy to be there. We're trying to get something done. Yeah. And I think in all intents and purposes, Stubbs, his role has kind of just been pushed out because we don't need that anymore. Go to the White Sox then. If they get to the playoffs for the first time in forever,
That ain't happening.
I'm just saying, though, like, that's what you want. Someone there, like, to just party, get drunk, whatever. We want someone that can also celebrate, be the vibes in the locker room, but also produce on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And Stubbs wasn't cutting it.
Yeah,
and he hasn't for years.
Edmundo would probably play the Robin version.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know what?
He's just that good at being that
Edmundo would
guy.
play some, like, Latino version probably, and it would probably be banging, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, Rafael Marchand, he had 3 walks in that Dodgers game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Stubbs could never.
No.
Stubbs was always just swinging at everything, or he would bunt.
He had that one crazy-ass bunt play.
Yeah.
He had that one crazy-ass play, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, where he, like, dove over the guy and, like, touched the first base. That was sick. But, like, his highlights are very, very minimal.
I mean, he'll have a great minor league career, which is good for him. Maybe he gets called back up at some point. Marchand gets injured from time to time. He's injury prone. That's why he hasn't worked out to this point. We'll see. But yeah, for now, Edmundo's the vibes guy, and I'm here for it. That's all I got to say on that. Oh, this game's wild. Oh, and the Flyers are up 7-5. Damn, we're missing action.
Fuck?
The Sixers won tonight. It's popping off. The Phillies. The Phillies are up 4-3. It was 3-2. It was 3-2 Phillies. Then the Braves tied it. Now they're up 4-3 in the top of the 9th. Trey just hit a dinger.
Yeah, nice. Is that his first of the year?
Yeah. He's been getting on base a ton, but he hasn't been hitting for power.
He hasn't got the power stroke yet, but that's cool.
All right, I think that's all we got on the Phillies.
Yeah.
The Flyers are up 7-5. They can't be winning yet, though. Yeah. The Rangers are ass, though.
They are ass.
They've been the ass this year.
7.
Yeah, how is this team
They
scoring?
scored 7 like a week ago against
after not scoring any points for
Sabres, who are
3 games.
Yeah, man. They just really hated John Tortorella.
Clearly.
I guess.
Clearly.
That's some daddy issues right there. They're working out right now.
But the Phillies are up 4-3. What else we got to talk about sports-wise? The Sixers. It's like, I guess we can talk about this national championship game a little bit.
Yeah, I only caught the very end.
That end
I went to go
sucked.
see Princess Mononoke on Monday.
Oh, you're talking about what?
The end of that national championship game. You watched it?
No, I just watched the highlights. I didn't watch that game.
I
did see the end.
But the end,
Yeah.
Bad way to go out.
Terrible.
Yeah, that sucked.
Oof.
Duke losing to Florida. Did you? Yeah, I guess y'all didn't see that either.
Yeah, I was like...
Duke lost to Houston.
Yeah,
that's who got him.
I saw that.
Damn, Cooper Flagg, dude.
Born to be a Sixer.
Yeah, right?
Born to be a Sixer.
You suffer some disappointing, heartbreaking choke of a loss like that. That's our baby, son. Come home, Cooper, yo.
Yeah.
We got you, bro.
Yeah, but... So the Sixers are probably going to... They're what? Going to be...
They're pretty much locked into the 5th seed, especially after they won tonight.
Which like seems okay, but it's like still just a 63% chance. Like
that 37% is kind of scary.
Not great.
That is scary, man.
Not great.
Like if to go through all this fucking losing and not get that pick would be absolutely brutal.
Dude,
that's the Sixers move right there, though.
The city will lose its damn mind, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are probably just completely checked out on the Sixers at this point, but we will.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, man. I just hope that's gonna be. So I feel like I always like tune in to watch like the draft lottery and stuff, which for the Sixers hasn't been relevant in years. But I'll tune in and watch like the draft lottery for the Flyers because it's not that it's like they're probably not going to move up or whatever, but this year. I'm going to be watching that draft lottery on fucking pins and needles. It's like,
yo, I'm pretty sure they're on like back-to-back days or something, or like the same week.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up.
That is going to be stressful.
Big draft for everybody this year, then. We shall see.
Yeah, that's going to be a few weeks of draft because we got the NFL draft.
NFL.
Then we have the draft lotteries for both those. Then the NBA and NHL drafts aren't far apart either.
That's what I'm saying.
When is the NHL?
Yeah, I feel like the NHL is usually
draft
earlier.
Lottery. The Flyers won 8-5. That's absurd. They haven't scored 8 goals all season.
Now they do it after they're losing. 7 a
they
minute
just
ago.
scored again.
Damn.
Probably an empty netter.
Oh yeah.
When is the NHL draft lottery? Load.
But yeah, big stretch of drafts.
May 7th.
Soon. Holy
NBA,
shit! Yeah.
I think is
that's over a month. Or well, I guess that's
in 2 weeks.
Less than a month away.
Yeah.
About a month away.
And the NBA is May 12th. Damn, we're going to be celebrating some lotteries that week.
Hopefully.
Or we're
going to be in shambles.
Or we're going to be pissed.
I mean, the Flyers, like, worst case, I mean, they could move back a spot, which would suck.
If the Sixers move back farther than 6th, they lose the pick.
I know.
That would be the very Sixers thing.
Come on, Adam Silver. It's time to throw us a bone here.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to correct all your wrongs.
He got more important things to worry about. He's got to worry about the MVP's coach getting fired.
How about that?
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I thought that was very surprising, to be honest with you.
For a team that's going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Memphis fired their coach, too, and they're going to be in the playoffs. Like, the NBA is wild, dude. Adam Silver has more important things to worry about than us not getting our pick, so he needs to make sure we get that pick.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say
Make it
on
happen,
that.
Adam.
But, no, I don't really have nothing else to say about the Sixers, the Flyers, the Eagles. Phillies are doing okay.
Yeah.
Hold up. The Dodgers, did you see this? What? When the Dodgers went to the White House?
Oh yeah.
Trump on his BS, dude. He
talking about baseball pitchers?
Are the Dodgers playing the Nationals right now? Is that why they're
apparently they lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, after this series here, they went to Washington and they lost 2 out of 3. Let me find this real quick.
Interesting.
Where is this? Here it is.
But yeah.
Oh, it's loading.
Yeah. The Dodgers faced down adversity. You entered the playoffs battered and bruised, but not broken. When you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out.
Oh, it's buffering. Come on, man. Come on.
Really healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular, and pitchers, I guess you could say, in really particular. But the starting rotation.
What is he even saying?
I can't.
Baseball.
It's called baseball. That's it.
But economic melt.
Oh man, Jesus Christ!
It's called baseball. I believe
brutal.
I've heard.
When in doubt, just say it's called something like that.
What do you think he's going to say when the Eagles go? He's going to be looking for Quadzilla.
He could be.
Yeah.
He's like, where is AJ Dillon?
He shouldn't be there then at that point.
Yeah, but he's senile as hell, dude. You think he's going to know his dementia ass?
No.
Nah, he's not going to know. He's going to be looking for AJ Dillon. He'll see Saquon's quads and think that's AJ Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't even look at him at all. Nah, that's going to be a trip, yo.
He'll be like, we're going to immediately release all the tariffs on Italy. We're okay. We got Big Dom here. We're going to level set all that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Phillies win the World Series this year or something, and they would, be able to see Trump at the White House. But maybe in a few years from now, like 4 or 5 years from now, maybe the Flyers will be good. Maybe they'll get an opportunity to go to White House, in which case they might be getting a reception from President Stephen A. Smith.
Yo, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Yo. Could you imagine him talking to a hockey team too at the White
His
House?
running mate could be The Rock.
Yeah, who
would Stephen A.'s running mate be?
The Rock.
This is, by the way, like I guess we should say, like he, put out.
Yeah, I have the article pulled up.
It should be Stephen A. and The Rock. That'd be a great running pair right there.
I got the quote from Barrett Media. He did an interview. He said, I could try to do this in the Stephen A. voice, but I'm not that good at it, so I won't. But he said, over the last few weeks, I've had no choice but to get more serious about it, he shared. I've been approached by people on Capitol Hill. I've been approached by people who are elected officials in office, whether it's governors or mayors or what have you. People have legitimately, seriously asked me about it. I have no desire to be a politician, but I've decided that I'm no longer going to close that door. I'm going to keep my options open. I'm going to entertain the possibility, if it comes in late 2026, 2027, where I look at this country and think it's an absolute mess, and there's legitimate reason to believe that I indeed have a legitimate shot to win the presidency of the United States, I'm not going to rule it out. You heard it here, man. Or you heard that at Barrett Media, but I just
Stephen A. 2028, baby.
Yo.
Oh, man.
I mean, anyone can run for president these days. I would vote for
why
him.
not?
Dude.
I'm moving out of here. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't.
That would be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what he would actually do.
No. Yeah, it's just going to be just a completely erratic, nonsensical set of different ideas. I don't know.
What
It
like?
would-
Where is like what is he? Is he?
I couldn't even.
I guess he's a centrist politically.
Yeah, I mean,
He has to be.
Yeah, I would say so. It's the Democratic primary is gonna come down to him and AOC. It's gonna be him, AOC, and Gavin Newsom are gonna be the final three.
I would probably take. I guess I would take Stephen A. That'd be hilarious, dude. But I like it. I don't know. AOC does some kind of performative stuff, but I think
Stephen A is going to be like, now I love Latino women.
Yeah, he would get that vote locked in. Yeah,
she's too woke, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he would go off, dude. That would be wild.
There's too many genders these days. Yeah,
that would be, dude. I'm picturing that presidential debate right now.
I mean, he would kill on the debate stage.
Yeah, he would destroy it. And like, based off his debate performance alone, it'd be like, okay, yeah, he wins. But yeah.
Oh, damn, him and Shannon Sharp,
his actual policies, like, I don't know what those would be. I have no idea.
He don't know what it would be either right now, but he would entertain it. He would entertain it.
Yeah, we could do, like...
Him and Shannon Sharp could be a great 1-2 punch.
Yeah, we could do worse than Stephen A. Smith, though. Like,
oh, definitely, for sure.
Like, Gavin Newsom probably be worth. Like,
if we're just in for a future of like goofy ass, political figures that don't really know what the fuck they're doing, I'll take Stephen A. over. I don't know.
I guess I would vote for actual politicians. So yeah, I guess I shouldn't say I would take him over AOC or Gavin Newsom.
But AOC with Stephen A. as a VP, though. Now we're talking.
I would take either. That'd be fun. That'd be hilarious, dude.
AOC, Stephen A. Got a good ring to it.
Yeah, they would just like
New York.
Yeah, exactly. They would run on the whole Bronx thing. Mm-hmm. Yep,
that's true. Yeah,
they would chilling that way. Then you got Gavin.
Yeah, you think she's really going to run for president?
But then you got East Coast, West Coast.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Some people are speculating about that. I think there's a lot of people that think that they're one of the reasons that Bernie is going on this. This whole tour with AOC. No, Bernie's not going to run.
Bernie's
because he's too old. But some people are speculating that Bernie is trying to make her like the successor.
Of
his whole thing.
She's too polarizing, though. She ain't him.
Maybe. Who knows? She gets a lot of hits on Instagram.
With all due respect, like she deserves a lot of respect, dude. I opened one of these Instagrams and like she was like, it was I don't know. It was like kind of seductive at first. It was weird.
Made you feel feelings?
A little bit. As a single man, I could say that. It is funny. Like, it was weird. It was like, damn, dude. Like,
it is funny.
Why
like,
she like giggling and smiling and being flirty and whatnot? It's like you're a politician.
But it is funny. Like the people.
But if that was Bernie doing that same thing, would you be seduced?
No.
Interesting. I don't know.
I mean, this might be the little missing piece of the pie that Bernie just didn't have.
Well, hold up. If
she's
I was
starting a conversation
an old gay man, then I might be into it if Bernie did that. But I'm not
just
an
saying,
old gay man.
Maybe now she's tapping into a resource that you brought up. I wouldn't hear.
Hey. I mean, no, I'm just saying, like, that's how she be on Instagram. It's, hey, I guess that works.
A strong, independent woman from New York.
Definitely. I feel like, but I do feel like there, like some of the just visceral hatred that she gets online and stuff is definitely fueled by some deep psychosexual thing going on.
Oh, totally is. Yeah.
So 100%. I feel like if she ran, there would probably be a bunch of these like, incel people that would get into the voting booth and be like, I fucking hate this bitch. But as they're pressing the button for her, they're like secretly,
that would be wild.
They are just filled with this like frustration and just like, whatever. But like secretly they want to see her on TV even more. So they're like, but they're just going to press the button for AOC.
Hey, if that's what it takes to get a left-leaning politician in office, incels, please vote. That's all I'm going to say. Damn, we've been talking too much politics, yo. That's what happens when there's not much sports to talk about.
Yeah.
But I mean, incels, go vote if that's what you're going to vote for.
Yeah.
Well, is that everything? I don't think we got anything else. We talked for a while with no sports.
Yeah, that's right.
We're just ripping.
Fucking pros over here. 100 episodes in. We know how to fill time.
We don't need all that. We know what to fill it up with.
Yeah, sports my ass. I like when we don't really talk. It's like we talk about sports, but
yeah,
it's a blend. It's a blend.
Yeah. Now we
Good
got
old classic mix.
these cupcakes that the wax dripped into a little bit.
Nah, they're fine.
They're non-toxic.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
If we ain't here next week, you know why.
Yeah. Well, that will just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and a review of your podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
See ya.